Hi, I'm Tim Horgan from Debug Pest Control of Southern New England, and today on Tim's Tips, we're going to talk about fall pest control prevention. Here are 11 tips to keep mice, rats, squirrels, raccoons, and bats out of your home this winter. Number 1, keep your trash cans clean, sealed, and away from your home. The reason that you want to do this is because rodents and wildlife are constantly seeking out food. And one of the most common, easiest places to find food in your home is in the trash cans themselves. If you leave the lid off or if you have food debris inside, it becomes much more attractive. Also, on certain occasions, if it's not a particularly thick form of plastic, rats will chew right into the trash can itself just to get to the garbage. So your best bet is to keep this away from the home to reduce the chance of having rodents get into the home, resulting from being drawn to the trash cans. This customer has his trash cans exactly how we like to see them. He has them away from the house, he has them very clean, he has no loose garbage inside, and all the trash is in bags. This means that this is less likely to draw rodents towards the home, and if you don't draw rodents towards the home, you're less likely to have rodents in the home. Number 2, make sure to trim back any tree limbs that are hanging over your house. The main reason you want to cut tree limbs off the house is to make sure that wildlife doesn't have easy access into your home. Often, wildlife gets into a home in the attic space, and they do this by coming right off the trees onto the roof. By cutting the tree limbs back, you reduce the odds of this happening. Number 3, keep firewood dry and stacked away from your home. You want to keep the firewood stacked away from the home because it can form a harborage for rodents. If you keep the wood right up against the house and the rodents are living inside of it, it's much more likely they'll come into your home. It's also important to keep the wood elevated on a shelf so that it's not right up against the ground, reducing the chance of wood-destroying insects, and keep it covered with a tarp, because if the wood becomes wet, it becomes much more desirable and more likely to be eaten by carpenter ants. Number 4, as the leaves begin to fall, you want to keep your gutters cleared. It's important to keep your gutters clear because this time of year, often leaves can build up in the gutters, which causes water to backflow or overflow in the gutter itself. This actually can result in some significant wood damage on your home, which makes both rodent access points and makes more desirable wood for wood-destroying insects. Number 5, you want to seal off any gaps or holes around the exterior of your home. As we get into the colder months, rodents are going to make more of an effort to get into your home, trying to avoid freezing outside. That's why it's important to go around the home, inspect for any holes, gaps, fill them up with any type of steel wool or cement to make sure that the rodents can't gain access. A mouse only needs 1/4 of an inch to get into your home, and a rat only needs 1/2 an inch. So your best bet is to go around now in the fall, block everything off so you have no issues in the winter. This is a perfect example of a small gap or hole around the home that should be sealed as we approach the winter months. This customer previously had a dehumidifier in their basement with a hose that ran out of the back of the house to drain it. When they got rid of the dehumidifier, they forgot to block up this hole. Well, this hole is an easy access point that mice can gain entry into the home. So by sealing it up, we'll reduce the chances of having rodent issues this winter. Number 6, make sure to inspect or repair any screening on attic vents. Particularly for older homes, when I go into them, often I find that when I go into the attic vent or the gable vent itself either doesn't have a screen on the inside or the screen itself is in disrepair. It's important to make sure that those screens are intact and that there's screens up there to prevent squirrels and bats from gaining easy access into your home. Number 7, make sure all your dryer vents and exhaust fan vents are pest-proof. It's important to remember that your dryer vents and your exhaust fan vents will actually pump out heat. And during the colder months, rodents will be able to identify this and they'll be drawn to it. So this is why we make sure to screen it or cover it so that they can't gain access in these areas. Number 8, make sure your chimney has a chimney cap. In certain situations, birds, bats, and even raccoons can gain access to your home through the chimney and even get stuck in the chimney itself. To prevent this from happening, you should put a chimney cap on the chimney. Number 9, make sure all exterior doors have door sweeps. A door sweep is the small gasket at the base of your door that prevents cold air and rodents and insects from gaining access into your home. This door sweep is in pretty good shape and doesn't have any gaps or voids, but often when I go to homes I find that the ends have been destroyed or broken down, which makes an easy access point for rodents. So as these door sweeps break down, or in certain cases even get chewed through by rodents, they become easy access points. So it's important to inspect these door sweeps around the home, make sure that they're in good shape, and if they're not in good shape, you need to replace them. Number 10, make sure that any pet food or animal feed you have on the property is stored inside a container and kept inside of a structure. A common mistake that homeowners make when purchasing pet food is that they keep the food in the bag that they purchased it in. This bag is not rodent resistant and will not help prevent any type of pantry pest. I often recommend to my customers that they purchase a hard plastic container to store this food in to reduce any chances of having issues with rodents or pantry pests. Also, many of my customers in this area have some sort of livestock, whether it be chickens or horses or goats, and they keep their feed outside. I often recommend to those customers that they store the feed inside the shed or the barn and keep it in a hard plastic or metal container to reduce issues with rodents. Number 11, make sure to clean under your stove and refrigerator to reduce insect issues. Many of my customers, when cleaning their homes, forget to pull out their refrigerators and their stoves. This allows for a lot of organic matter to build up in these areas, which makes a food source for both rodents and insects. It's wise when you're doing your fall cleaning to make sure to pull out the stove, pull out the refrigerator, and really thoroughly clean those areas. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below or send an email to asktim@debugpestcontrol.com.